Hey guys, how you doing? I am doing the trailing link replacement now. Basically, this is the OEM piece right here, and here's the OEM bushing actually that connects to the rear wheel hub. As you can tell, it's pretty much the same piece. This actually goes to, I got this part recommendation actually from a NASIOC member who owns a Type RA. I'll go ahead and put his forum, his I guess his journal post down below. He's got a lot of cool parts, but definitely this was something I did not know about until I saw his journal. So Archer, I think 1.3, give you a shout out, man. Thanks a lot for the information, as well as some other things he's told me throughout the course of modifying my car. But this piece, it completes with the STI lateral link set. If you compare everything, if you just look at it, they obviously replace the front bushing of the trailing link with from regular OEM rubber to a pillow ball bushing. It's, you know, if you can tell, it fills out the entire bushing, as this one it's kind of recessed, so it allows for quite a bit of play. You can actually move it a little bit with just your hands, so that says a lot. And on top of that, it includes two of these I guess insert washers that go into the both sides of the trailing link. So if you do end up buying this used, make sure you have these pieces. It should be 4 total, 2 for each trailing link. You know, and then also, since I was doing the rear brakes, I'm gonna be replacing this whole back plate right here to put in the Brembos. So I'm gonna have to remove pretty much this whole shield assembly. Because of that, I'm able to remove this bushing right here. Otherwise it's going to be pretty difficult. In order to remove it without the brake dust shield being removed, you have to use I think a torch, a acetylene torch, to melt basically the rubber out, and then you got to hacksaw the metal out of that. But since I'm able to do it, I'm going to replace it with the polyurethane bushing. They do make a group in bushing for this, but I went ahead and just did the polyurethane in case I have to service it in the future. I can easily pull it out without having to remove the brake shield. Also, I think if you are going to do this, make sure you wrap the rod as well as the this part of the bushing with Teflon tape before putting the grease on. I'll go ahead and put a link below for that. It actually supposedly stops the squeaking in the future, which is a huge plus. I already have it installed, but I want to go ahead and let you guys know in the manual they actually want you to replace the bolts. Here are the part numbers. They want you to replace the bolts in addition to the self-locking nuts for all 4 if you're going to replace it. I don't know if that's completely necessary. It's up to you guys, but since the manual states it, I went ahead and did it. I don't know if it's because of the deformation of the bolt or because there's Loctite on the bolts that come from the factory, and of course the self-locking nut may lose its ability to self-lock. So you know, that's that. But in order to take that bushing out, I used basically one of these I guess bushing puller rod sets. I had a 27mm deep socket to push it out, and then I believe it's a 42mm cylinder to I guess have the bushing go into. But of course, I'm sure you're wondering, if you replace this trailing link, you know, how much of this bushing is gonna, how much more will this bushing deflect? I don't know if it's gonna really deflect that much, to be honest. You know, this piece right here is basically solid. I believe it's solid metal. This inner insert, if you take a look at it, you know, my finger is right on it right here. This centerpiece it's a piece of metal, and then the rubber material, it's not very much. So I don't know really how much deflection there really is for this bushing. So I wouldn't be super concerned about how much more this bushing would deflect. I mean, if you just look at it, it looks pretty solid already. But since I'm already having access to it by removing the brake dust shield, I'm gonna go ahead and replace it with a polyurethane bushing. Let's go ahead and take a look at it installed. Let's see, here it is installed. If you want to take a look at it, I'll make sure you can see it. Here is the polyurethane bushing installed, and then you have the trailing link already just kind of installed right there. I didn't tie it all the way. I'm gonna have to finish up my job with everything, including the brakes. And then this is the new brake dust shield that I put in for the Brembo brakes. But as you can tell, there's not much space between here to push out or pull in the bushing. The bushing actually goes out this way, but you know, it's just not possible. Of course, you want to make sure you torque the assembly down with weight, complete curb weight on the wheels, so you don't bind the bushings. And then of course the manual, interestingly enough, points to the bolts to be torqued, not the nuts. So make sure when you look at the manual for the torque specs, you make sure and look at what the torque value is pointing to. Is it pointing to the bolt or is it pointing to the nut? In this case, it was actually pointing to the bolt for both connection points, the front connection point and the rear connection point. So when you lower the car onto the curb weight, onto the wheels, let the bushings completely settle and rotate or whatnot, then you tighten it down to torque spec. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it should make a big difference. I'm really glad I got it, mainly because it completes the lateral link set that came with this car. Should really make the wheel, you know, pretty much stay solid throughout the course of driving. So I'll let you guys know. That's that. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later.